This is Justin AMZN on Friday, February 12th, 2021. I've got the 5 minute here. I drew some lines in yesterday during the video. And if you didn't watch to the end of that, please go back and watch yesterday's video. These lines worked out so incredibly well today. We ran into it here. We really did like get X marks the spot right here. And I had added this one in here as well. So we really had an amazing hit to that price at that time right here today. And that wasn't the bottom, but it was really close. It was really kind of the second retest from this maybe triple bottom breakout, retest, and then going on back up. The 3250 put we've been watching since Tuesday, or I've been watching since Tuesday, had another opportunity to get in at 7. This time it did not work. And as it broke down, this was kind of the beginning of the end because it expired worthless. So that happened today. And then the 3250 call, like I said, I wanted to be watching really the same strike, gave a lot of opportunities to enter right around the same price, like 7 by 6, 7 by 6. All these would have worked really well. Even this one right before this end of the day rally here. So the price here, 651, it had put in a low 615. So even after this price, so this one was right here, this bounce, and then this one came down to 650. That was right here, and then it came down again to 670. That was this pullback here. And then it pulled down one more time here and came down to 651. So right around 650 each of these times. Could have been having it set up 7 by 6 would have worked. 675 by a dollar less, 575. But this one didn't really pull back as far. It really held the 21 through here, even though this was pulling back, just because the option is only a little bit in the money, and the premium's trying to get sucked out. I thought there was a chance that maybe it would come back up to the high here, not the high, the open of the 3250 call. So we opened a little bit down. We gapped down from this line, like great gap down, and we actually ended up with a bullish day, which is finally nice to have a bullish day after all of this selling. But yeah, just some really cool stuff happened today. We got back up to the triangle and had a really clean rally. There was a lot of different options to be watching. So if you missed this, it's okay. Go look at another one. Go look at 3255 and see how this moved. This one gave you a range of about $1.20. So that would have been a little bit tough. Let's look at the 3260. This one was a nice small candle right here. Give you an opportunity to buy a little bit above 2. 2 by 1 would have been really nice. Could have had it on this candle, but not this candle. Okay, so 3265. Let's look at that one next. And this one would have been, this one would have been even better. You're buying at like 1. And what I like about this is you could actually do an absolute 0, 1 by 0, and would have worked on both of these candles. Not that one, that's $1.01. So that's a little bit off. But I mean, you risk absolute 0. You're risking the whole risk. You're buying an option for that amount, and you're just going to get out of it when it runs up. Probably would have been exiting near these highs around $8, and this candle was this candle. Yeah, that would have been a great target right here, right where the triangle is. So that would have been getting in at 1 and getting out at 8, and that would have been a nice 7-hour gain. So that would have been great. So 3270. Let's see what that one does. So 3270, 3270 is the price right in here where this triangle is coming down. Wow, this one got really, really low. You could have bought 2 of these, or maybe even 3 if you got the 33-cent price, but probably getting into 2 of them, 50 cents a piece, and then you're getting out probably about 6. So if you got into 2 of them, that would have been buying for $1, and you're out for 2 of them at $12. So you made 11R on that one, and that's getting out right here. If you had held to the right into the close, which is really hard to do when you're up so big on these. That would have been even more R's. And then 32.75, which it did go in the money there. You can see had a much smaller move, had a much smaller low. So you could have gotten into 4 of these for $1. Getting in at 25 cents a piece probably would have been filled here, or at least 3 of them for like 30 cents a piece could have worked. And then you're probably getting out right at the open price, so right around 5. And that would have been holding right into the close. So that's where it gets a little bit more difficult to do. 32.80. What did that one do? That still had a really nice rally too. That was all the way down to what? 11 cents, 10 cents. So this is where you're just gambling, because there's no way to know that you could get in at this one and it go this far in the money and get out at 2. I mean, there's just no way to know that that's going to work. If you did this, probably would have been getting in at like 20. So you're getting 5 of them if you want to do that, absolute zero. And you're scalping them out. You scalp out at like 50 and at 1 and at 150 and or a couple of them 150. And it's like, okay, there's a chance maybe it's going to go. And then you get out of the last one at 2. And I didn't even crunch what that would make your gain on that, but it's not a ton. You would have been doing much better with 32.70 or 32.65, something that goes further in the money. And so that's always the balancing act with options. These would have worked. You could have bought this. You could have even gotten in much later. Could have bought at 1, stop at 0, and just gotten out at 150 or at 2 if you had held on. But again, this is more of a gamble where you've missed the main move. You're getting in later, but you're just trying to get something out of it. You're getting something out of that. Bears being trapped. Anyone who had sold during the day, they're now trapped. It's moving up. It's doing one of these rallies. These do come up. They come up occasionally, and we just had the right setup today that it was time for it to do it. I think part of the setup was with these lines, so I'll give a quick recap on those. But it's really easy to see with just this line drawn in, the open of the day after earnings and the open of this day where this triangle lined up so well with the open price. I thought those were really significant. And then we ran right into those prices every day afterwards. And then today we ran into it too, and we actually pushed on up. So now we're right back into the triangle. We've started to do a little bit of a bounce here. If we take a look out at the hourly, there we go. So we had held really this lower red line here and here, broke down here, didn't really matter here or here on the way back up. So now we have a nice little hammer and we're starting to bounce. And we'll just have to wait and see if we get some more continuation. I mean, we'll see what happens. The market is closed on Monday. So we'll regroup on Tuesday and see if we can get a rally back on up. But again, we're right here at the triangle. So this could be, there's another triangle here I'd run in. So this could be a breakdown, retest, another breakdown, a little bit of retest. We could gap down again. We've been gapping and just dropping. So it could still do that again. We'll see if we touch this line again, if we go any further down. But this is still, I think this is still just consolidating. I mean, it's been going sideways here for a few weeks. This is going back to mid-January where we got into this range. And, aside from a little bit of a breakout here and a little bit of breakdown here, I mean, this isn't really a breakdown. This is really just testing that level and seeing support come back in. So this overall is still a resistance zone, but this is the support end of that resistance zone. So we'll just have to wait and see. The 21, we got back above the 21 with the close today. We were running that as some resistance, had some resistance here. That's been bouncing around. Hasn't really worked out too clean other than the last few days here. So it is good to see us above that level on the hourly. But back down to the 5-minute. There we go. There we go. So what I had drawn in was this line with some really good price points, and then this line, and we pushed up a little bit below it here, a little bit below it here. But the idea that I was talking about in yesterday's video is this is a wedge pattern. If I adjust this, well, let me do this first. So I drew that in also with considering if I extend to the left, it hits some of the highs in here and in here and in here, ignoring kind of this. So it's got some other levels that looked like they were playing in. Now today, obviously, this little bit of a breakdown, it looks more like a double bottom this far out. Doesn't necessarily have to follow it exactly. Oops, didn't mean to remove. I'm going to cancel left. There we go. Okay. So if I do adjust this further down, I'm hitting the lows here a little better. I'm still cutting through this one. It still looks like a wedge pattern. I'm going to leave what I had. I like what I had here just because this line comes right in, and I drew this yesterday. So I drew that, oops, I drew this in thinking I was grabbing that exact point here with these two crossing. And I mean, look at this. I drew almost the low of this candle with the end point of that line. How crazy is that? So I guess I'm getting good at studying Amazon and seeing what prices we can get. So really nice hammer there, nice hammer here. We got some movement going back bullish. There's a lot of hammers in here. So look at these candles, see what they're doing. Indecision candle. This was starting to break out. We were pushing above the high. So this, this level high pushed out here, actually got a little bit above the high over here, and the high over here pushed a little bit further, running right into the open high. It didn't quite get that far until this candle clearly broke out on high volume. So, for an expiration Friday right before a holiday, I'm not surprised that some folks were closing out positions or whatever was going on here to be buying. I guess we'll either shorts closing out positions to buy to cover, or people getting in long. I'm hoping it's people getting in long. I really want to see Amazon keep going bullish. So that we will find out. But yeah, take a look at the different strikes. You can do the same thing with the puts to see how these were moving. But yeah, not so much bearishness coming in like we had earlier in the week. And really the only really clean setup was going back to the 3250. I think this would have been the best one to have, a clean level of support right around 7. And if you're getting it at 7 with an 8-hour target, that would have been 15. You would have gotten in here, or if you were trying that earlier, would have gotten in. It ran up this high, came back down, went back up. It's like, okay, I'll exit at previous resistance. So that would have been around like 1150. You could do that a couple times and then do it again here. And if you had the target 1150, you're out and you missed all this. So what's the secret sauce to hold on to one of these? Probably just the consolidations happening and seeing the squeeze forming where you've got that consolidation, you got that pressure building, and it's right before the close on a Friday, and you have these big moves in the last hour, half hour, something like that. Today, obviously, about the last half hour. But also the mindset of, if you miss it on this option, go look at a different strike, go look at a different option, and you can still catch part of the move. And so that's why I wanted to show the different calls here that really set it up well. And where you could still find the risk parameter that you have. And I'm always looking for a $100 risk because it's easy to multiply. You can do it with a $200 risk, $300. There's not much math. You just buy 2 contracts, 3 contracts. That's the idea. So hope this helps. This is Just Amazon. Thanks.